Hi, I'm Ava. You know what's funny? 10 years ago, if someone had told me I'd be running a successful tech company while raising an incredible 8-year-old, I would have laughed. Yet here I am, doing exactly that. Life has a way of surprising you. Sometimes in good ways, sometimes not so much. Mom. Look, I fixed the robot's arm, Marcus beams, holding up his latest Lego creation. My son's inherited my love for tinkering. Only his tools come in smaller pieces. That's amazing, buddy. Want to show it to Victoria when she comes over for dinner? Yes, she always has the coolest robot stories. Victoria. My rock. My business partner. My family in every way that matters. From co-founding our company to helping me navigate single parenthood, she's been there through it all. Even my divorce from James 3 years ago. Thankfully, James and I managed to land on solid ground as friends. We're better at co-parenting than we ever were at marriage. Now, he's a dedicated dad who takes Marcus every other weekend. And we've mastered the art of civil conversations about more than just custody schedules. It's not perfect, but it works. Ava, your 2 p.m. meeting's been moved to tomorrow. Victoria pops her head into my office, then spots Marcus. Hey, little engineer. What masterpiece are you working on today? Before Marcus can dive into an enthusiastic explanation, the office door bursts open. My parents stride in like they own the place, with my brother Richard slouching behind them. Sweetheart, we need to talk, Mom announces in that tone, the one that always precedes a disaster. Richard has some exciting ideas for the company, she adds with an overly bright smile. I glance at Victoria, who catches my expression. Help me, she steps in smoothly. Marcus, why don't you show me that robot in the break room? I brought those cookies you like. As they leave, I steel myself and turn back to my family. Richard is wearing a brand new suit, price tag still poking out from the sleeve. Dad clutches a folder like it's a classified dossier, and Mom's smile is stretched tighter than a drum. I lean back in my chair, already bracing for the headache this conversation promises. What's this about? Mom perches on one of the visitor chairs, smoothing her skirt with the precision of someone preparing for battle. We've been talking with James. The casual way she drops this bomb sends my stomach lurching. Talking about what? About Marcus's future, Dad says, placing the folder on my desk. James is concerned about the boy's stability, considering how much time you spend at work. My fingers dig into the armrests. James and I have a custody agreement that works perfectly fine. That's where I come in, Richard pipes up, straightening his ill-fitting suit. If I take over the company, you'll have more time for Marcus. I almost laugh. Almost? You? Run my company, the same company you called a waste of time 3 years ago. People change, Mom interjects, her voice sharp. Richard has lots of fresh ideas. Fresh ideas, like that cryptocurrency restaurant that went under, or the pet fashion line that never delivered a single product. Dad's expression hardens. Enough. Mom's tone softens, but her words are ice. Here's the situation, Ava. Either Richard takes over as CEO or we support James in seeking full custody. The world tilts sideways. You're blackmailing me, using my own child. Don't be dramatic, Mom waves her hand dismissively. James agrees Marcus needs more stability. We've already discussed custody modifications. My office door opens and Victoria walks in, her tablet in hand. Her timing, as always, is impeccable. Sorry to interrupt, but Ava, you need to see this. She places the tablet in front of me, her expression sharp. I did some quick research on Richard's business history. The screen lights up with lawsuit filings, bankruptcy records, and a series of unflattering news articles. Richard's face drains of color as Victoria reads aloud. 6 failed businesses in 4 years. 3 pending fraud investigations. Over $2 million in personal debt. And a recurring habit of losing investor money in Vegas. That's private information. Richard snaps, jumping to his feet. Actually, it's public record. Victoria's smile is razor sharp. You know what else is public record? Conspiracy to commit custody interference. Recording conversations without consent. Using custody threats for financial gain. Mom's perfectly composed face falters. We're only trying to help. By threatening to take my child? My voice is steel, and forcing me to hand over my company to someone who couldn't run a lemonade stand. You've always been selfish, Dad starts, but I cut him off. Get out? Now, I stand, hands flat on my desk. And if you ever try to use my son as leverage again, my eyes burn into theirs. Let's just say I've learned a thing or two about hostile takeovers. Richard practically runs from the room, but Mom hesitates at the door, her expression hardening. We're your parents, Ava. We know what's best. As the door shuts behind them, Victoria turns to me. I have a plan, but you're not going to like it. Neither of us notices Marcus's forgotten Lego robot sitting on my desk, its tiny recorder light blinking red. Later that evening, I'm on the phone with Mom, my voice steady. I need time to consider your proposal. This is a big decision. That's all we're asking, sweetheart, she replies, her tone sickly sweet. Just think about what's best for everyone. After hanging up, I turn to Victoria in my home office. They bought it. Did we get everything? Crystal clear, she taps her laptop. Including the original threats from your office. Plus, the PI's report just came in. The private investigator's findings are damning. Dad's real estate business is underwater, and they've mortgaged their house 3 times. Records show they've been funneling money to Richard's gambling habit for years. They're not after the company for Richard, Victoria says grimly. They need it to save themselves. My phone buzzes. It's James. Your mother just called me, he says, his voice tight with anger. Tried to convince me to file for full custody. Said you agreed to step down from the company. James, I can explain. No need, he interrupts. I recorded the whole thing. Marcus is thriving with you, Ava. I'm not letting them use our son as a pawn. Relief floods through me. Thank you. The lawyer's already drawing up a restraining order. But heads up, Richard was asking weird questions about your company's security system last week when he picked up Marcus. Victoria's already pulling up the security feeds. There he is, she mutters, pointing to footage from the server room. We watch as Richard sneaks in late at night, plugging a device into the main servers. It's a data theft device, Victoria confirms. Amateur hour. He triggered 3 silent alarms and smiled right at the camera. My phone pings, a text from Mom. Richard's starting Monday. We'll handle the paperwork. Perfect timing, Victoria says, pulling up a document. I text back, family meeting tomorrow. My office, 9:00 a.m. They won't know what hit them, Victoria says, watching me sign the final affidavit. That's the point. I pick up Marcus's Lego robot, its hidden recorder now safely backed up. Nobody threatens my family. My phone lights up with another text from James. Count me in for tomorrow. Those trust fund documents your PI found. Interesting. Victoria raises an eyebrow, ready for the final act. I glance at Marcus, peacefully doing his homework in the next room, blissfully unaware of his grandparents' schemes. More than ready. Time to show them exactly who they're dealing with. At 9:00 a.m. sharp, my parents and Richard swagger into the conference room, as if they own the place. The board members are already seated. The boardroom's atmosphere shifts as Richard's face goes from pale to green while the security footage of his server room break-in plays on the large screen. What's this? Mom's smile falters. This was supposed to be a private meeting. Nothing in my company is private from its board, I reply, nodding to Victoria. She advances the presentation. Attempted corporate espionage, Victoria states, clicking to the next slide. The screen fills with recorded conversations, proof of their custody threats as a means of seizing control of my company. Dad jumps to his feet. Now wait just a minute. The conference room door opens and James walks in with our lawyer. Perfect timing, I say, gesturing to the empty seats. We were just getting to the trust fund fraud. Trust fund fraud? Mom's voice is barely a whisper, her eyes wide. Yes, I say evenly. The money Dad's been embezzling from Richard's trust fund to cover gambling debts. The same money you're trying to recoup by stealing my company. Richard whirls on Dad. You said that money was invested. Dad stammers. It was. James places a thick folder on the table. The family court judge found this very interesting. You can't prove anything, Dad blusters. Victoria smirks, holding up her tablet. Actually, we can. Corporate espionage, conspiracy, custody interference, fraud. Want me to keep going? The lawyer slides documents across the table, restraining orders, both personal and corporate. Effective immediately, you're not coming near Ava, Marcus, or this company ever again. But we're family, Mom wails, tears streaming down her face. I stand, my voice unwavering. Family doesn't threaten to take a child away. Family doesn't use kids as bargaining chips. You crossed every line. The board members nod in agreement, their expressions grim. The courts have documented your schemes, I continue, and the community is already talking about the prestigious Andrews family's fall from grace. You've ruined us, Richard moans, burying his face in his hands. No, I say firmly, you ruined yourselves. Now get out of my building. Security escorts them out. As the door closes, James lingers behind. Marcus keeps asking why Grandma's crying on the news, he says softly. I know, my voice catches as my heart aches for my son. You did good, James says, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. And don't worry, nobody messes with our kid. He grins. They'll remind me never to get on your bad side. 2 weeks later, life has found a new rhythm. My parents' country club memberships are canceled, their social circle shattered by scandal. Richard is facing charges for attempted data theft, and my company is stronger than ever. At home, Marcus and I work on building a new Lego robot, this one free of hidden recorders. Mom, he says, carefully attaching a tiny arm, are we still family? I pull him into a hug. We're the best kind of family, buddy. The kind that looks out for each other, not the kind that hurts each other. Like you and Dad and Victoria? He asks. Exactly like that. He nods, wise beyond his years. Good. Can we add a laser beam to the robot? I laugh, my heart full. Absolutely. Sometimes losing family means discovering who your real family was all along. What would you do if your parents tried to use your child as leverage? Would you cut ties completely like Ava, or try to rebuild the relationship for your child's sake? It's a difficult decision, especially when children are involved. What if the child were younger, or if you didn't have proof of their schemes? When is it right to cut off toxic family members, and when should you try to maintain some connection for your kids? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this complex family situation. If you enjoyed this story of standing up to toxic family dynamics, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that explore real-life dilemmas. Thanks for reading.